Fantastical Parade is here, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited to go through these cards. If you want to wait until later today for all the cards to come out, by all means, but I just couldn't help myself by looking through these. So we're actually gonna go through every single card here. Let's go ahead and start off with Lediba, basic 60 HP, colorless energy, gets to punch for 10 damage. Nothing crazy here. And then we take a look at Ledian, 80 HP, again, colorless energy, 40 damage, but you get to attack for that 40 damage no matter what, and any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon doesn't matter. So we're knocking through any kinds of abilities or effects like hide to ensure that we're still getting popping off for his 40 damage, which is pretty nice. We then go into Shuckle here, basic 80 HP, guard press 40, you take minus 20 damage from attacks. Okay, so you do have to attack in order to pop this off, but still taking minus damage, it's always a good plus here, so that's kind of nice. Roselia, basic 60 HP, 1 grass energy, trip over 10 if a coins, do 30 more. If you get lucky, you can hit 40 damage for 1 energy, which is pretty good. But I like this, right? Like Roserade, 90 HP, 2 energy, poison ring for 50 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. During your opponent's next turn, that Pokemon can't retreat. Now that's great. One of the things about poison is that you can retreat and clear the condition away, but for the fact that you just can't, that means your opponent has to be running Lyra, or they have to be Water Deck with the Greninja EX here, so you can get away with keeping them poisoned. The only way that they're out of there is if you knock out this Roserade. And when things like Leaf Cape to make it 120 HP, with things like Erica as well to boost this is in terms of the health there too, it's gonna be kind of hard. I can even see this with Nihilego. Just stack it, right? Like that's great. We have Cacnea, 2 energy, 30, pretty sweet. Cacturn, 120 HP, 3 energy. If your opponent's active Pokemon has damage on, this attack does 60 more damage. Alright, 120 for 3 energy on the grass though. It is a stage 1, so that makes sense as to like why that 3 energy is there. We have Chespin. Oh, our starter here. 2 energy for 30. Oh, what? That's a lot. 2 energy for 30 is a lot here. Quilladin, 90 HP, 3 energy for 60. Okay, come on. Your stage 2 has to save it here. Chestnut, 164 energy. During your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon is damaged by an attack, do 80 damage to the attacking Pokemon. Now, this does get affected by weakness. So, if they are a dark type, right, this like typically was weak to grass, if they attack you, they are also receiving 100 damage. Now, that's kind of cool. You get to do 80, and on their turn you get to do another 80, so it's really like 4 energy for a 60 for a 160 move, right? Like that's just kind of how it works, but your opponent can choose where that 80 damage is going. This like automatically screams to me heavy helmet for the retreat cost. I want to say Leafeon, maybe even superior, but 2 stage 2s might be a little tough, but we have so many of these switches, right? We have May, we have Copycat, we have Pokemon Communication, so stage 2s doesn't feel too bad, especially like we have Quick Growth for grass, so maybe it might pop off. That is a good amount of damage. I'm just worried about this 4 energy here to make it pop, but I think this attack is pretty sweet in terms of it being a defensive kind of move, and this Chestnut here. We have Scatterbug, 1 energy, 10 damage, 50 HP. Spoopa, Signs of Evolution, put a random card that evolves from Spoopa from your deck into your hand. Oh, okay. That evolves from Spoopa, so you're getting your Vivillon immediately. So we can at least see a Scatterbug. Swoopa, get your Vivillon, and the Vivillon Vivid Powder, your Pokemon is now poisoned and asleep. Okay, so mini Mega Venusaur here, right? We get to do both poison and sleep. That's kind of nice. You can kind of cook this up pretty well, especially if this is only 2 energy to be able to do, so you actually don't mind either quick quick growing spupa into it, signs of evolution to do into it, getting your quick grow. There's a rare candy. There's a lot of ways to like really get this active, so that's not bad. Oh, now we have a non-EX Buzzwole. Ground beat 40. If your opponent has exactly 1 point, this does 40 more damage. They really do like a lot of these like one pointers kind of thing, right? Like Lucamine, you need exactly like they need to have taken a point in order for it to be active, and now they're like placing it into the Buzzwole here as well too. Exactly 1 point is tricky, especially, I mean, I guess if you're running an Ultra Beast deck, then that can work out well, right? Like a Kartana getting knocked out, then you can go into Ground Beat and hitting for 80. So there's room for this to work out well here. We got Glossifleur. Ooh, we're looking at some Whimsy, right? 60, 20, normal. Eldegoss, 90 HP, float up. You may shuffle this Pokemon and all attached cards into your deck. Oh no, this is the stage 1. Do I want to do that? Why would I want to do this? Why would I guess maybe to save myself? But as soon as I do that, I'm shuffling. But it says you may, you don't have to. So actually, that's actually pretty nice. The may part here is actually really clean. You can save yourself from getting knocked out and then bring up something else afterwards that may have more HP. So this could be a pseudo wall in terms of you won't lose any points when you're playing this Pokemon, and that's pretty cool. We got Tailmask Orcapon, Soothing Wind, Energized Leaves, 60, 120 when you're able to have at minimum 4 energy, because your opponent will have at least 1 in order to get this attack off. This is going to be pretty good to like combine with things like Superior, with Leafeon as well. Maybe even throw in a Celebi, because Celebi loves extra energy, and so if you don't draw your Tailmask, you can also power that up at the same time. So pretty solid card with Leaf Keep. For survivability, to boost it up to 160 is going to be really huge for this card, but I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so that was our grass. Now we're moving on to our fire decks here. We have a low on Marowak, stage 1, 2 HP fiery bone. Your opponent is now burnt. I like it. We don't have to worry about flipping heads. We're doing 60 damage for 2 energy, possibly. If they can flip tails, we can get that back to 80 damage from there. So being able to stack up for stage 1. HP is 100, but like we're getting some good damage for just the 2 energy there. Reshiram, okay. 120 HP, 3 energy, Blue Fair, 110, discard, 2 energy from this Pokemon. You know what? I don't mind this at all, because this is a basic that can get powered up through Magby. So having something like this with Flame Patch as well, it has high HP. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We live in an era with Flame Patch. We live in an era with Charmeleon producing energy for you. We have things like Flareon that does energy for you. This is a very good, like, hey, I have a basic, I need to do things. 3 energy ain't bad at all. We have Litleo, 70, Colorless, 10, Stampede, pretty normal. Pyroar, double fire. So it's curious that they put the basic as a colorless, but then you need 2 fires for Pyroar to pop off. 70 damage, 90 HP. We've seen these a lot in the beginning, and like the fact that they're bringing the stat line back is kind of nice. We have the Ocorio here, the Inspiring Dance, 10. Now you have a plus 20 for damage, so this can shoot up to 30. This could shoot up to 90. That could shoot up to 130. That Oricorio is going to be so good, and if you like throw this into like a lot of non-EX decks that then follow up with like a Mega afterwards, this is like a pretty good spot to be in. Then we have our like newer or our newest EX here, Bucephalopon EX. Okay, another Ultra Beast. All right, welcome to the parade. 140 HP, 1 energy since your opponent's active Pokemon is now Bird. Okay. And then you have Pop Funk, 140, discard 3 energy from this Pokemon. But you're not doing any recoil damage to yourself. The non-EX does, and this does not, and that's great. Especially because with you play this, or you like let this run out, because Lucamine allows you to bring back 2 energy, and then you pop open a 3rd. You have your Flame Patches, so there's ways of getting this energy back to consecutively do this again. You could do 140, And then you attach Lucamine, attack again, attach Lucamine, attack again, double flame patch. There's ways to make sure that this continuously procs. So that is pretty sweet. I like this. I like this. This looks pretty good. We got Score Bunny, 60 flop for 1 energy, 20. Nice. That's just like kind of similar here. Reboot, 80 HP. Kick. Oh, so this stays 1 energy as well. That's fun. 40 HP here. So you can go first and like feel pretty good about that, because then you go into 120 damage that following turn. So this is 160. If you go first, you evolve into your boot, attack for 40, that following turn they hit for 120. Your opponent's Pokemon is cooked. Like literally Flumblade. Flumblade is a fun word. I just made that up. But we keep going. Fireball 120. No retreat is kinda nasty work here. That really does mean you want to play this with fossils, maybe discard, come back up because you retreat for free. You don't have to worry about losing your energy there. You could Lyra, you switch and then retreat out again, and like you can place that energy on that retreating mon because you don't need to like deal with that. That is fast. We knew Cinderace was a fast Pokemon, but for them to like say no retreat for this card too, that's pretty good. That no attack, we've seen it get mitigated so many times, and we have cards to make sure that happens. So this is nice. Oh, we're getting the other mask for Ogerpon. Oh, I love that. 80 HP, 2 energy, Heart Flame Dance, 40. Flip a coin. If heads, take 2 fire energy from your energy zone, attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Y'all, what? So we have ramp, but with will. Like that's what this is. And then it's any of your bench Pokemon. So that's 2 that you can power this up. You can power up this. You can power up your Reshiram. That's sick. That is going to be. I mean, fire just has so many different ways now. You have Moltres, you have Flareon, you have Magby, you have Charmeleon. Then you have obviously your elemental switch for things like Flareon EX, since it can generate it back up from the discard pile. You have Flame Patch, and now you have this. There's so many different ways of ramping for fire. Just honestly, now take your pick. And this new flavor style to guarantee just 2 free energy is great. Like 2 energy at once, that's like there, but the will is pretty awesome. Okay, we're in water now. Water territory. Alolan Vulpix, 60 HP, 1 energy, 20. Pretty standard. Oh, another EX. Shout out to Alolan and Ninetales, 150 HP, 2 energy, Binding Snow, 80. During your opponent's next turn, they can't take any energy from their energy zone to attach to their active Pokemon. That's awesome. We play this with TRG, Team Rocket Grunt, to remove the energy that they have. You're in a water deck for just 2 energy to be able to deal this attack. Hello? That's great. This is spicy. This is spicy. I like this. Just because you're now in a control style deck, right? Like being able to stop their play from that, being able to Sabrina things up and keep it trapped in there. If you remove all of their energy, that means they can't retreat. If you even play Ariados just to boost up their retreat costs as well, could be a little bit spicy here to enforce that they just can't do anything there, and you're really just leaving the Ariados in the back. Could be good. Could be good. We have Galarian Mr. Mime, 70 HP, 1 energy, Icy Snow, 20. Galarian Mr. Rhyme on 10 HP, 3 energy, triple spin. For every coin, you do 60 hits. Okay, so you could do 0 to 180, 3 energy. That feels pretty nice in terms of that. If you will, you guarantee at least 160, and it's a 50-50 if you can pop off. And for a non-EX in a stage 180 damage for your output is like incredible. So really cool. I'll take the fact that it is flip coins, because 180 on a stage 1 is nasty. We got Delibird, Box of Surprises, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 70 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. If tails, heals 30 from your opponent's active Pokemon. Ooh, so we want to play this with Will. We're trying to do 2 energy, 70 damage on a basic. We are not trying to heal. On average, on average, you're dealing 2 energy for 40 damage. And at that point, that's not worth it, right? We have so many cards that do 1 energy for 40. So, you know, far-fetched, like all these other things, like even the basics, that's like 10, and then you add a 30. Like we want that. So we want to will with this card, get the Gamba going. Mudkip. That means my boy Swampert is here. 60 HP, 20 tackle. Love that. 2 energy, 40, 90 HP. I just made fun of the fact that this Delibird will do that, and we see that here, but that's fine. And then Swampert. Okay, 150. Discard a random energy from among the energy of attached of all your Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. Okay. So it's kind of like Gyarados back in the day. You can just, but it's any Pokemon that includes yours. So it could ruin your attack. You can go down 1, but you just attach it. So you're really just kind of hoping that it's really all on your opponents that's getting the loss here, which is fine. We played that game before, and when it hits well. Oh, we got back a Swampert, 230 HP. They're up in it. 230 is nice for the water. 3 energy, I will take it, but it's the only way that we attack here. So I guess, I mean, you'll attack as you build up, so if getting the 3 energy is fine. I'm just really happy again that it's not something obnoxious. Discard 2 random energy from amongst the energy attached to all of your Pokemon. Okay, so if you get really unlucky and you get your Mega Swampert gets hit with the 2, that feels bad. If your opponent loses 2 energy, you're in a really good place. So I think you gotta have to just watch out for it. 150 for 3 energy is pretty nice. That's 300 damage over the turns. You're really knocking out a lot of things. I think it's really funny that Swampert is weak to electric, but it's just water in this game. That's funny. It would have been nice. It would have been a nice touch if it was grass, but that's neither here or there. But I think this, you gotta have a Heart of Steel. And say and believe that you're going to hit your opponents every time, or you hit your bench, right? So as long as you only take 1, you can always attach. That's okay. Worst case scenario is 2, but on your Mega Swampert when you have the Pokemon out on your field. So it's all the Pokemon, the active, and the bench. So I don't think it is as bad. You just gotta be really unlucky in order for you to feel bad for this card. So the overall, pretty good. We have Vanillite, 60 HP. 1 energy chili for 20, pretty standard. Vanillish, 1 energy for 40. You love to go first with this. That's nice. And then Vanillux, 140. If one of your Pokemon use Sweets Relay during your last turn, this attack does 60 more damage. Okay, so you can throw this in like the Colorless Sweets Relay deck. 140 HP is pretty nice. You can rare candy this thing because it's only 2 energy. You're dealing 120 damage. And since this move is called Sweets Relay, you can continuously hit the 120 damage. That's pretty nice. That's pretty good. I would like to try out Sweets Relay actually with this style here. So that's pretty good. We have Cryogonal, 70 HP, Frozen Lock, 20 HP. During your opponent's next turn, they can't play any item cards from your hand. Ooh, we got a more bulkier Chingling here, right? Like, that's exactly the effect on Chingling. The only things here, it's more HP, so you can only search it through your Pokeball, as obviously not a baby, so it can't go into any deck. You have to be running water energy in order to pop off. But is it gonna find play in water decks right now? Currently, your water decks are just Suicune and Greninja is elsewhere, so maybe people can pop off with this. This will be fun. This will be fun in trying to solve water and trying to make this work out. Maybe even a Sweets Relay kind of deck. This could work out when you're playing only non-EX decks. You're going to be running water for Vanillix anyways. So this could be a cool combination to do. We have a more, new fossil. Okay. Aura Beam, 2 energy, 50, 100 HP. Nice. Okay, I mean, I guess you're evolving from a fossil, so you are stage 1. And then Auroras, discard 2 water energy from this Pokemon, your opponent's. Active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Guaranteed paralysis is nice. Your opponent can't retreat. Your opponent can't attack. It does last only one turn. Now the question is, how do you build this to get here? So I guess you do a lot of Mantike, Manaphy kind of shenanigans to build up into the Hail Prison, because once you lock your opponent in, if you can get your opponent in, then they're stuck, right? So finding a way to like get one or maybe even get a basic in and then get your Aurorus in kind of wins you the deal, because your opponent has to be playing like a Pokemon Center League to get themselves out of there. 150 HP still is no joke. So how can you do that, and how can you drive that up? I think you load it up with water energy, and you kind of go from there. We got Choodle. In order to attack, you gotta have 3 energy already on it. I was wondering why the water cards felt so good. The water cards felt so good. Here we go. A basic for 3 energy feels right. This is the Misty Curse right here. All right, then we go into Dreadnought, 130, 4 energy, 120. Yeah. Sorry, buddy. I just don't see how this is viable anywhere. But you know, folks will try and it'll do well. Caramarot, spit out shot, basic. It does 30 to your opponent's bench. This is actually kind of nice. This is literally Heat More stat line. So Heat More stat line, Absol stat line, those see play. So if we can get a really strong water deck and start attacking your opponent's bench right away, sniping out basics, this is gonna be really good. So I kind of like that they made this for water. I like it. We have Aracuda, 1 energy, 10 damage for Ram, colorless. Ooh, I like the fact that I can see the Kramer in the back. Oh, they made these like artworks connect. That's fun. Barraskewda, 100 HP, Jet Headbutt, 40. It's a fast spawn. It hits hard. 1 energy for 40. Kind of like makes sense with its floor here. So that's nice. Ooh, water, more water mons. We got the Ogerpon here. The Ogerpon is just so cool. I really did like their designs of like the different mastery things. So that means we must. Oh, so we got grass, rock. Oh, we haven't seen rock yet, so rock might come up in the fighting deck. So we'll see what that looks like here. All right. Then from here we have Wellspring Dance, 40 HP. Flip a coin. This also does 40 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, so fire ramps if heads, and water attacks the bench for 40. So 80 damage on heads is actually still pretty good. That's really good. 2 energy, 80 is really nice. So I like it. I wish there was more ramp. Oh, do I wish there was more ramp? You have Mantike, you have Manaphy, you obviously have Misty, you have Jellicent as well. So do we need? I mean, fire's just loaded, so that's probably what I was thinking about it. But this could this is still nice though. Sniping the bench is always great. And now we're into the electric decks here. Oh, and did I say electric decks? I meant lightning cards. Here we go. Let's make some fun. Pikachu 60. You're doing 30, but you're doing 10 damage to yourself. All right. Does the Raichu get to pop off with this? A low in Raichu. If a stadium is in play, oh, this Pokemon has no retreat cost, so it doesn't matter which stadium here. So this doesn't get anything from the 10 damage to itself, but you get to have 30 damage for 1 energy. That's still really good. Going into 2, you do 50 to anywhere in your Pokemon. So that's to the front, to the back. That's kind of nice, being able to attack anywhere. I really do like the Surge Surfer. No retreat cost. Being able now having the abilities take the stadiums into care here. Like you gotta like think of that. That's pretty sweet in terms of the designs for that. We have Zapdos, 3 energy, 1 other Pokemon, either yours or your opponent's, is chosen at random 1 time. Do 100 damage to the chosen Pokemon. Okay, we gotta run Cape, right? Like we can't get knocked out from our own thing. 1 other Pokemon. That's so interesting. So, I guess you can't knock yourself out, but Heavy Thunder, like, are you surviving long enough to get 3 energy to pop off here? I guess you have to run a lot of heals and things, but then again, like 100 damage, does that take out a lot of things? Like, what things about like Macargo, 150 is a lot of damage, right? Rayquaza 160 is a lot of damage. Dragonite obviously 200. Trio 150 right there, like that's there as well. That's like 3 Pokemon. Like those, when it lands on one Pokemon, will do enough where you can feel secured. 100 damage is like maybe stage 1s, definitely basics that you're knocking out. But with the split damage, the 50s going everywhere, the 40s going everywhere, you might not even knock out a basic. So I guess there's a trade. Here. Definitely have to test it out to see how it feels. We have Plusle. That's really cute. So there's mining coming up. Flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active. Pokemon's not paralyzed. I think we've seen this on like the Dene in earlier sets as well. Pretty good. You get lucky. Your opponent can't do anything for you. Mine in here. If Plusle is on your bench, this also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon. Okay, that's cute. I like the effect here. It makes sense that they both have, like, they get to interact in that way. Ooh, Toxel. 2 energy, 30, 60 HP. 2 energy for 30. I understand it's a baby, but y'all really gotta like nerf it like that? Come on now. What do we got? Toxicity though. Okay. 150 damaging spark, 90 damage. This attack does 30 damage to each of your opponent's bench Pokemon that has damage on it. Ooh. Can we run a mine toxicity set? Like, let's do the bench, and then now we get to continue to hit 30 from here. That's fun. We have Oh, they're throwing in some Gen 9. Now they're just throwing everything in here. Take 1 lightning energy from your zone, attach it to this Pokemon. You don't have a lot of HP, so am I gonna is like Belly Boat gonna be like a 4 energy play here? Belly Boat 3 energy, 80. Okay, so you attach the energy. Now you're at 2. Then your third one, you're attacking for 80. So that kind of mitigates the 3 energy here. But you gotta live, right? Like 50 HP, it can go pretty quickly. But you're hoping that you have this out front and that your opponent just has the either the basic that's only dealing 20, maybe 30 damage, and you can outlive, then evolve, and then attack. So, okay, I can see it. Galarian Ponytoss, we're in Psychic now. 60 HP, 10 flop, 10, okay. We got the Galarian Rapidash. For if you have 5 or more Psychic Energy in play, this attack does 60 more damage. So Galarian Rapidash with Mega Gardevoir EX, you'll be able to have 100 damage for 1 energy. That's kind of crazy. Yep, that's nice. Wobbuffet, 3 energy. Okay, more cards to test out with Mega Gardevoir. This Pokemon also does 10 damage to itself. Never mind. Why are we self-damaging at 100 HP already? And I guess that's because it's a basic, right? Basic here being able to do that. Snubble, 2 energy. Sharp Fang for 30. Pretty okay. Granbull, 3 energy for 90. Oh, they're giving these Psychic Mons 3 energies here. They already knew we're getting the ramp from Mega Gardevoir, and they're like, nah, y'all gotta work for it if you want to play these cards. Ralts confuses the Pokemon. We've seen Mega Lopunny get away with confusion, and folks are like, still not as high on confusion as, like, you know, paralysis, sleep, or poison, but confusion has definitely won some people some games, so this could be not bad. Curlia continues to confusion, and then we get Gardevoir. 2 energy, take 2 energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your bench Pokemon. Okay, 60 damage, and you still get to ramp in a way that you couldn't ramp with the other Gardevoir because you're attacking. Well, the other Gardevoir you get to ramp with your ability, but at least you get another 2 energy here, so that's nice. And then this is 3, and you get to do it to any Pokemon in any way you like. So non-EX is focusing on just one Pokemon, whereas you have your Mega being able to attach it any way you like. I really like the stark difference here. Instead of just going like up 1 more energy, just even the way that you're attached to it. Pretty nice, and to really differentiate the two. And like, quite frankly, I wouldn't mind playing this one either, because you're still ramping at the end of the day. So that's pretty good. We move on to Litwick, 50 HP. Oh, I love the 50 HP. Lucia's just numbing here. Mumble for 20. Lampet, 80 for 30 for just one energy. That's pretty good. Chandelure. Now we got a Psychic one. I mean, we had the Fire one before. This attack does 20 more damage for each supporter card in your discard pile. So I this just screams Savali, no? Savali two energy. Every time you use a supporter, you get 100 damage, and then you throw in Chandelure to clean up after you're both Savalis. Chandelure comes in. You've used all these supporters, so you're just stretching up here. Pretty creepy effect, right? Past friends because they're in the discard pile, but that feel like that's already really good. That's fun. That's fun. We got Meloetta, allows you to just get psychic Pokemon from your deck into your hand. Really out for you for thinning. 70 HP is pretty good for a basic 2 energy size shot. You're really just using this card for its ability, but if you can get some attacks off, pretty good, right? Like this is just like attacking power for an Oricorio, so you don't mind it. We have a Pumpkin Boo, 20 for Ram, pretty basic. Gorgeist, a Soul Shot, discard from one card from your hand. If you can't, this attack does nothing. This actually can power up your Chandelure. You can use a supporter and also discard a supporter as well. I mean, your supporters are really important, but if you're like looking to really ensure that you're boosting up, you want to really ensure that you get that ramp in there. That Soul Shot can actually do that for you. Or there's other things that when it comes to discarding that you can also just like bring back to. So you can play around with that, right? Like discarding a basic and bringing it back with Celestic Town Elder could be an interesting play here as well in terms of Gorgas and just like maneuvering around that. So some pretty cool combos to think through if like this is something you're interested in playing. We got Mimikyu EX, Disguise when a Pokemon is first attacked by the attack. Coming into play, prevent that damage, slash, we got take care of that 2 energy. I like this. This is going to be really fun. I'm interested to play this into like Mega Altaria that just loves Psychic Basics. And just being a stall fest to then be able to attack. Like this is just supposed to be a mini wall, throw a Rocky Helmet on it, make people feel real bad about attacking. Sinistea Hide, flip a coin. If heads, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. Things like Ledian and Mega Metachan will bypass this effect with their attacks, which is like pretty sweet to see that we have a counter to this. Poltergeist, once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may have your Pokemon opponent shuffle their hand into their deck for each remaining point at your point, at least when they draw a card. So if they need 3 points to win, to get to draw 3. If they need 2, they only get 2. If they already have 2 points, they only need 1 more to win. They only draw 1. That's fun. Just shuffling it up, making sure that you can lessen it. This is like one of those ones where you kind of like hold it in your hand until like you're losing to then try to get that card advantage. This attack does 70 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for 3. Hello, Mega Guardy. Or just even Baby Guardy. And then now we're into our fighting. Nah, but like I like that. 70 damage for 3 energy when you can ramp into it is pretty nice. You can do non-EX, attach the 2, put the 3rd up, retreat out for free with Peculiar Plaza, do the 70 damage from there, and just start sniping everything. Just start clearing out their bench. Okay. We got Sandshrew, double scratch, flip a coin, 20, you can do 40 damage up to here. Pretty nice. Slant shots, do 3 coins. You can do up to 90 damage. All right, for 1 energy. It stays with 1 energy. That's pretty nice. We got Machop, Shatter, discard a stadium in play. Oh, we already have cards, Pokemon cards that can just knock out the stadiums. That's kind of nice. Machoke, 1 energy, chop for 40. Machamp, Knocking Hammer, discard the top card of your opponent's deck. Do we get spicy with it? Play the Fire Chandelure and just clear your opponent? Do we just deck out your opponent? That could be fun. That could be fun. We got Cubone, 70, 10 damage here. And so you can use, you use Cubone into Marowak or Alolan Marowak and like figure out which way that you want to go. So that makes sense here. That's why it's colorless. Meditite, 60 damage, 10 colorless for Smack, because you can then put Psychic Energy on here for your Mega Metacham that we're going to be getting as a promo, which needs a Psychic Energy. So colorless makes sense. Psychic, if this Pokemon has any Psychic Energy attached, this attack does 50 more damage. So that way you can see it here. So you can do 100 damage for 2 energy with the non-EX version, and you can do 140 with the Mega EX version. Plus, it disregards any effects or abilities of Pokemon, so bye-bye over Choreo. Rock and Roll is 70 HP. This is more fighting style. They typically tend to be energy heavy with no ramp. Kind of crazy. 30 for 2. Boulder Door, 70 for 3. Gigalift, 140 for your to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it can be anywhere on the board. You gotta get here. But Boldor has the heavy helmet, so you can start doing that. You have to use this with Lyra to be able to do this again. But 140 to any Pokemon is kind of sweet. I thought it was just 140. I'm like, what's the difference here? Why is that special? But 140 to anywhere? You gotta get up to this, like, for energy though. So that's tough. That's just the tough part. But I see the damage output, and I want to try to make this work. I really do. Heavy helmet to reduce some damage. You gotta get your heals up. Maybe throw this with an Indeedee EX so that way we can continuously heal and here as well. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I like it. Drillbur, we have Head Bounce for 2 energy for 30. I guess you can go into, obviously, our Steel is why it is colorless. So we'll see what that brings out. We have the Tyrant. Ooh, more fossils. Okay, Hammer in, 2 for 60. Tyrantrum, 3. If you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, this does 80 more damage? So I just gotta play one or like, whoa, 180 for 3. Now that's a fighting Pokemon. Love that. Passimian, this attack does 30 to one of your bench Pokemon. Okay, cool. We already had this for Hitmonlee, but you have 10 more HP, so I just think you just play this now. Right? If you were playing Hitmonlee in the past, you just play this because you now have 10 more HP. Is how it works. Oh, you do have double retreat costs now, though. So there you go. That's a trade-off. Do you want more HP, or do you want less of a retreat cost? Is what you kind of have to like fill out here for your Passimian. Phalanx, plus 20 when you have another one in play. Minus 20 from damage from your attack, but you're really only doing 40 damage, and that's the most you can do because you can't play another Phalanx. However, you hit Ditto, and Ditto allows you now to do 40 damage. As well, I guess so. You're just doing 40 damage altogether. And here we go. Cornerstone Mask Ogerpon, 80 HP. If heads your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes minus 100 damage from attacks. We just gotta figure out how to boost up this damage. Cause they ain't doing nothing to me. A minus 100 is insane. Wow. Okay, that's really good in terms of being defensive here. I mean, that's what your rock types are for. But how do we, like, I guess we just gotta have the Giovannis and the Reds in here to ensure that, like, we're taking advantage of the fact that we're, like, getting seriously, like, these extra turns. So we will take the minus 100, then I guess we, like, red and hope that we hit heads on that next one to really kind of make it work out here. But that's great. We're into dark territory here. Alolan Meowth, 60 Swagger. Discard a random energy if it's heads. Persian, 140 for 1 energy. Alolan Grimer, 80 pound, 20. Alolan Muck. Power of Alchemy. Basic Pokemons in play have no abilities. Okay. I like it. No Oricorio for dark decks is crazy, but you can't run things like Hydreigon yourself, right? Because your Roar and Unison won't work in here. Your Darkrai won't work in here, so you kind of have to play around with it. But you don't mind now running Mega Absol for free. Like you can think of different EXs that you'd want to, because you don't have to worry about the bird. You just don't have to worry about the bird, and that's kind of nice. I like this. Some folks just might just run it as like a one of, just so that way they just don't have to deal with any of those things. If this was like, oh man, could you imagine if this says stage 2 has no abilities? Like, where is the Greninja counter? But we have an Oricorio one. We're now getting more of them. We're seeing it with the Mega Metachan. Now we're seeing it with the Alolan Muck. So that's pretty sweet. There's Zigzagoon, 1 energy for 20. Lanoon, 1 energy for 40. And then Merciless Strike, the 120. If you have damage on it, we're going to get that. And with the Peer Supporter, that's pretty sweet. Stunky, 2 energy, 30. Skunk Tank, 3 energy, Smoke Screen, shot, 70 during your opponent's next turn. If the defending Pokemon tries to use an attack, your opponent flips a coin. If tails, it doesn't happen again. That attack doesn't happen. Okay, so essentially, you kind of have like your Magnezone, but with Dark here. Spirit Tomb, if the opponent is in the active spot, it's knocked out by damage from your opponents. Do 10 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon. So we're just getting chip damage here. So we can attack up front and then getting chip damage. And it's colorless, so you can really throw this in anywhere. So any mon that really benefits from having damage to your bench can really survive here. So that's nice. Flip a coin. If heads, look at a random card from your opponent's hand and shuffle it into their deck. It's random, so you can't really tell, but that's nice. But you can like thin out their deck. Purloin, this attack does 30 more damage. Lipart has gotten like three cards or something. They love that card. Scraggy, Headbutt, 20. Scrafty, Crush the Weak. If your opponent has more energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon, this attack does 50 more. So you want to like discard their energy as much as you can, so that way you can pop off for that 100. Okay. Yveltal! Discard random energy from both active Pokemon. So you just attach yours and then you just deal with it. Okay. So you can again be super oppressive with this discarding of the energy to really maximize this effect. Guzzlord, flip a coin. If heads, discard your opponent's active Pokemon. I smell a challenge. Can I beat my opponent without dealing damage to them? That's insane. Flip a coin. If heads, discard your opponent's active Pokemon. They don't lose a point. They don't lose a point, but you are taking away everything that they're doing. It is 4 energy, but it is Guzzlord. Guzzlord was supposed to be doing with 4 energy. So this could be interesting. This could be interesting. We have Glare and Meowth into the metal now. /20 Berserker. You may discard 2 random Pokemon tools from your discard pile. From your discard piles into your hand. So you get to run that metal core barrier often, because then we're gonna bring them right back with the Berserker. Okay, so the Traveling Merchant, Glare and Berserker, and these steel types are gonna be really fun. Mawile, Carnarvon's Chump for 50. Mawile EX 60. We get to stack up the damage. This is gonna be really fun to just run with this and 19 trainers. Excadrill, that's why the Drillbur was colorless. 80 for 3. Ferroseed 10. Ferrothorn 2. If heads, you get to do 100 for 2 damage. Pretty good. Glare Stunfix, during your opponent's next turn, if the opponent's in the active spot when your opponent's active Pokemon retreats, this does 40 damage to the new active spot. So you get them to retreat. So you're up here. Sabrina, you get to deal 80 for 2. Nice. Honedge, cut up. Doublade, you get to do 80 as long as you get heads. And then you just take minus 80 damage from your opponent's Pokemon EX. So AG Slash is saying, yo, non-EX to non-EX, that's how you gotta take me out. Taking minus 80 from EXs is insane. That is like Mega Absol can't attack you. Darkrai can't attack you. They have to ping you down. You're looking at things like Suicune, that needs your bench to be really filled up here. So they do 0 damage to you. Greninja EX only does 20 damage to you. Mega Altaria goes from 130 to 50. Mega Blaziken goes down. Wow, this is nice. I like the shield. When we're into Dragon, we have Bagon 60, 20. Okay, this is Fire Water, rolling 60. Salamence 150. It does 50 damage to itself if you get tails. Alright. Now we're into colorless 50 Carefree. If any damage is done to this Pokemon by attacks, flip a coin. If heads, prevent that damage. I like that. Draw a card too. I like that. We can say no damage. That's pretty sweet. 2 energy, 60, pretty basic. Kangaskhan, flip ahead, does 30 more damage for 9 energy. That's a lot. I don't know if I want to do that. 3 energy for 90 damage is not a lot. But we have a Mega. Double punch and family, 80 damage. This attack is used twice in a row. The second attack does 40 damage. So we do 120 damage. But if the first attack knocks out your opponent's active Pokemon, the second attack is used after your opponent chooses a new active Pokemon. So I can knock you out with 80 and then hit the 40. Excuse me. I love that. I love that a lot. We got Sentret, Tail Wrap, 20 damage. Cool. Furret is just doing its thing. Smeargle, if this Pokemon's in the active spot, look at a random supporter from your opponent's hand. Use that effect as the effect of this ability? Oh, that's nice. But it is a random supporter. But that random supporter could be a copycat. That random supporter can be a professor's research or a science or a Sabrina. It could work out well or could not. But like, I like that. Lugia for energy, Aeroblast 80. You can pop this off with Ho-Ho EX. You can pop this off with any of the babies. So that's pretty good. And then you can get up to another 80 damage if you're getting heads here. So for 160. All right. Tailo, 20. Swallow for 50 for 2. And then you can switch out your opponent's basic active Pokemon to the bench. You may switch out your opponent's active Pokemon, but your opponent chooses a new active. Okay, so we're seeing the Pidgeot ability here for stage 1. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. That's less cards in order to be able to get this effect off. So this could work out in a lot of good spaces. Slack off. Your opponent's Pokemon is now asleep. Does nothing if you get Tails for 90. Okay, I mean it is 2 energy, so that makes sense. And then if you attach an energy zone to this, it's now asleep. Knuckle Sandwich for 3. Discard a random energy from this Pokemon. So you can just hit for 150 for 3 energy like that. I mean, I think you put you do this in Psychic. You throw in Comfy in here, and now you're no longer asleep. You can throw Ogerpon and no longer be asleep. And that's kind of nice because that means you can play any energy that you would want in here as well too. So there's different ways of doing that as well. So that's pretty cool. Spinda. This Pokemon's confused. That's hilarious. Tornadus stays in play. We get to deal 80 damage. Bumblebee 20. Earthquake does 10 damage to each of your bench Pokemon. All right, I get it, but that stinks. Furfuro takes minus 20 damage from attack. We're not going to use that. That 3 energy for 70 ain't worth it. Tandem Mouse, put 3 random cards along Tandem Mouse and Mouses from your deck onto your bench. Okay, we're getting the Flux there, so that way you can do this family beatdown, so you can flip the coins and then try to win the game. Now we're into the shinies. Okay, we got the Omnite, Omnistar, Clefairy, Clefable, Hitmonlee, Chan, Kabuto, Kabutops, Tortos, Magmar. Oh, here comes the EXs into Flareon EX, Sylveon. These are so pretty. Look at that. Tangela, Magby, Ho-Ho EX Shiny is here. Horsey, Seadra, Kingdra EX, Pichu, Espeon, the green. We got Fanfi, Donphan EX. Oh, we're getting babies. I didn't even realize that. We're getting baby shinies. Umbreon. Oh, I want this one. I want this one for sure. Lugia here. Latias, Mantike. I don't have the crown, so a shiny here would actually be really nice as well. Latios. We got our 1-star arts here. Okay, Rosary gets one. Cacnea, love that. The Vivian in the little greenhouse is cute. Buzzwole is hilarious. It's so good. And then our 2 stars. Okay, Teal Mask. Ooh, with the rainbow, looking at the fireworks. Okay. Reshiram gets oh, with the tail being like the light when it's about to be dark is kind of nice. The Oricorio doing its own dance moves. Bachelor Fawn getting the red, the little swirly for the Ultra Beast to pop off with the fireworks and the head is being moved. That's so good. Ooh, Scorbunny gets one. Oh, that's lovely. The little fire on the feet. Ninetales, love that. Okay, here comes the rainbow. Oh, it's dancing on like the lake. Oh, that's so pretty. Mega Swampert EX here. Okay, yep, you get the Swampert in the back, the big bulk, and smashing with the Earthquake. Okay, they did their thing with these. Oh, the Aurora Slide. So that's such a nice touch. I really like this a lot here. Cranberry. So it's trying to fit the Pikachu. It had the Arrokuda before, now it has the Pikachu. That's hilarious. Minun getting something with Plusle is cute here because the Plusle had or oh no, Minun has it with there. Okay, that's fun. That's fun. Toxel being in daycare is hilarious. Toxicity. Nah, this is the I think this is the which form? It's not the amp form. I forget what the blue one's called, but that's interesting that they have that here. Glaring Ponyta, that's cute. Look at the little glow. Snubbles inside the closet. That's so funny. Mega Gardevoir, that's really pretty. Oh, and it's the immersive. Okay. Meloetta is our crown. Mimikyu is our 2-star. Okay, it sees the Pikachu in the back. We have the Indeedee Porter. I really do like seeing them in like real life, right? Like the closet with Snubble. That Indeedee is like pouring out coffee. Sandshrew just rolling along. Look at a Gigalith. Oh, it's shooting out his. I think that might be my favorite one. Tyrantrum screaming. Volcanoes are going. We've seen the phalanx. The muck is like near the trash. Okay. Glaring Obstacle. I wish this was like maybe I'm too much into Pierce, but if this was like a rock band, that would have been fun. Purloin just tearing things up like a cat would. Yveltal, that's pretty sick. Berserker on a boat, that's fun. We got the Mega Mawile smashing things down with its like little hair things. Dragon Dance. Oh, Dragon Dance. Dragon Dive. Salamence above the clouds. Oh, Meowth is the other one. That's so funny. Random? Okay. We'll go with it. Mega Kangaskhan. I think that's cool. A little back to back. Like, what you gonna do about it? Slack off. And then now we have our Jaw Fossil. Lucky Ice Pop. Heal 20 from your active. If you healed any damage this way, you get to put it back. Okay. Excuse me. So this is only for your active, but you get to do infinite heals if you're lucky. So I kind of like that. Sail Fossil, we've seen that. Protective Poncho. I love that this is it was as long as this Pokemon is attached, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's attacks and abilities. And it's a poncho for the Water Greninja. That's hilarious. I was asking earlier in this video if we have something for Greninja, and it's literally right here. That's pretty sweet. Middle Core, minus 50, but gets discarded at the end of your opponent's turn. We can dig that right back up with the Berserker. Heal 90, discard 2 energy. That's fine. That's still 90 damage. Look at the top 4, get your stage 1s. They have to make stage 1s more viable. Otherwise, we won't want to use this card. Juggler, if you have 3 or more different energy types attached, move all energy from each of your bench Pokemon to your active. I don't know if I would want to use it. The only Pokemon that screams out to me is like Ho-Ho. EX, but maybe you can Lugia EX and then Juggler and get the energy back up there so that way you can continue to do it that way. So maybe that's how that works. Piers, discard your 2 energy from your opponent's active. That's gonna be so toxic. It's gonna be so good. Ooh, here's the more stadiums. Okay. Attacks used by your stage 1 Pokemon and played to 10 plus more damage. That I was just asking about that. Training areas that make stage 1s pop off. So that's really great. So Altaria, even just like those final stage 1s are gonna do really well under this getting that plus 10 boost. Got the starting plays. Each basic Pokemon gets 20 HP. We have a lot of basic EXs, so that, I mean, it works for you as well too. So we're having there, and then not having to worry about your basic getting knocked out right away. So those, you can search for those 50 HP mons, and then they go up to 70 with that. So that's nice. Peculiar Plaza, we've seen. Psychic gets 2 less, and then we have our gold Poncho, our 2-star trainers as well. And I think that's our last card. So we went through every single card, y'all. Let me know what are the things that you're cooking. I'm so excited to be playing with this tonight, and pulling and seeing what we can get. I just can't get my hands on these cards right away, so we can just start deck building and seeing what we can get through. But let me know, what are some things that you are looking out for, and what are some, just like even hearing and watching this, what are some cool deck combos that you may have? Let me know in the comment section below. And as always, y'all, if you enjoyed the vibes of this channel, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, click the notification bell button. You don't miss out on a thing. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.